Hello, hello, hello. So we are going through our Fallout 4 load order. So just going to go down through this and then we'll come back up. There's a few things we should probably talk about and discuss. This is the version of our load order where I'm playing John as the Master Chief, and you'll see there are a bunch of elites. There are a bunch of elites from Halo in this game. So it makes it very Halo-esque and kind of fun, right? But there's some other things that I'm trying as well. So I want to talk about those, even though maybe not all of them are huge, but I do want you to see them. I did put some different little replacers down here because they're more like patches. They're very small. I did put them down at the bottom, okay? So not a lot to discuss, but a little bit I think we should look at and just talk about. Well, once we get up here, okay? One of these mods I had tested before, and it didn't work very well, but it looks like they've got that worked out. So I wanted to make sure I pointed that out as well. So, because you'll see that. If you've looked at any of the playthroughs for this, you'll see that. All right, so here we are. We're back at the top. Let me tell you, I'm using 76 weathers. Why? Just for fun. It said inspired by Fallout 76, lush color correction, and bright, vibrant weathers. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll try it. So far, seems pretty good. So that's cool. Now, nothing here that involves trees or grass or anything, so no problem with that. Using clarity, a visual overhaul. They removed lens flare edits and nighttime god rays and stuff like that because they were a bit too out of place and that was too much. But notice here, this mod does the following. Yay, thank you for simply telling me what your mod does. That's really all I ask. Make it easier to see without completely removing all sense of atmosphere. Good. Fix or remove many visual annoyances such as flickering water, bad bloom. Thank you. Good. Very good. Possibly a very slight performance gain for some users because some of the effects were disabled. But likely there is no change. Okay? This mod does not decrease performance because it can't, because it's not really adding more that you have to do. Okay? So blur when aiming, blurry camera effects, and blur in VATS has been removed. Distant blur has been standardized, okay? Bloom is disabled. Yay. This does not disable lens flares. Gobos? What are gobos? Well, nonetheless, fog pop-in is no longer as distracting, etc., etc. So there's some changes here that I think are nice. And we'll see more as we play along. Now, Escape from Boston Landscapes. This adds quite a bit of, what's the right word? Of landscaping to the game. I mean, there's quite a bit of plants, trees, foliage. There you go. Here's the things. All things overhauled and touched, okay? Night sky and moon, things like that. So, all those look good. Those have been, it's been pretty good in my opinion, okay? So, I just wanted you to be aware. This alters many textures. So, you can put other textures down below if you don't like something from this mod. It is pretty big, but it's a good mod from what I can tell so far, okay? Now, just going by so far, we're still testing this. Still very early in John's game. Let's see, is there anything else? I did keep this because, this allows us to add extra stuff to our armors and all. It's kind of fun. I kept this because I wanted John to be able to get around and play as much of the game as possible pretty quickly. Let's see, what else do we have? I still kept Jagged's third rail because I like it. These revived settlements, I really like these, so I kept these. General Atomics Galleria, I like that. Now, Sanctuary Village. This is not the same as the other Sanctuary, and this is a lot smaller. the other Sanctuary mod I used, as I showed you in some videos. If you've not seen those videos yet, you will. It depends on what I manage to publish first, okay? But anyway, there's some videos that show that the other Sanctuary mod that I was using unfortunately breaks part of the game. It was so sad to see that because I really liked it. But this one is a good alternative as well. And then Overland Hot Springs and Abernathy Pond. These are 3 of these small overhauls that this modder made that work. Now, they made some others that don't work. So I want to make you aware of that. But these, from what I can tell so far, these work, okay? Let's see. Okay, then we have these new things here. We have this armory mod here. It includes some stuff and level list and things like that. Most armor pieces have the resistance upgraded. Known issues, field fabrication station, collision physics are not perfect. Meaning, you know, you can make this, I think it's the work table that you can make. I've not done a show on these, so I've not dived into all the details. So I've not dove into all the details. Same with this one. These are 2 things, and they have their own workbenches, I believe. But what I did do, I haven't really made those. I'm still using this because this is my favorite armor to represent John. Okay, so this represents the Master Chief to me. So these, though, I have those patches down below. Now wait, first let me show you this. There's Halo Elites as Raiders. Now I experimented with an earlier version of this mod and it did not work right. Now it works. Now this still says it's version 1. I don't know. Maybe something else was different in my load order. It is possible that I made an error. Nonetheless, it did not work for me previously, but I will say that now it does. It does work. It works correctly. It brings in these Halo Elites, and they actually get some weapons and stuff. So, you know, you can craft the armors, and I think I have a video that shows that as well. Hopefully it will be published before this, but if not, you can expect to see it. Let's see, what else do we have? Because we have some other fun stuff. Yeah, it's the patches down here. Now, these patches, you could say they're not patches, and that's okay. These are replacers. What they do is they replace the gear that these NPCs use with the Infinite Armory gear, so that I can expect to see some of these guys, the Brotherhood of Steel and Gunners, using some good high-tech equipment, right? That would be cool. And then the same for the Railroad and the Institute. Now, this Courser, I don't remember what the Courser is. The Courser is part of some other faction, and my mind is not latching on to what that is right now. But anyway, this is going to give them also this special armor. So anyway, it's to make it more fun. So now I have elites, and I have these other people who are going to be dressed kind of like Spartans, or if not like Spartans, they'll at least look like UNSC enemies and that type of thing. Well, some will be allies and some will be enemies, right? Gunners will be enemies. Brotherhood of Steel and Railroad, your choice, can be enemies or friends, right? Institute, kind of the same thing. You can choose which way you go with that. So with me, most of these are going to be, let's see, Brotherhood of Steel. I'm thinking they will not be enemies. But for me, everybody else is pretty much going to be an enemy, even the Railroad, because the Railroad are helping synths, and I've already seen that synths are trying to replace people, kill them and replace them. So there's something evil going on there with the Institute, and the Railroad is probably an unwitting pawn. But nonetheless, that's my take on it. You take it however you want. I've kind of enjoyed making that part of the story up in my mind that way. So, all right. So really, that's everything. I think all of that makes this an interesting game. I do have the heavy blaster rifle. but I've actually found the Chief is using the Covenant plasma rifle more than anything else. As he skills up, though, I am going to make this blaster rifle because it will be fun. And I might add something else to this game, but we'll see. I'll tell you, at first, when I was playing this game and I had it on very hard, the Chief, I died a lot. So I had to tone down the difficulty a little bit. But I would like to, find some sort of balance that would allow me to play, on a higher setting without dying all the time. So, let the cheating begin, right? I'm probably going to do something. But right now, I've turned the difficulty down so that I can play a reasonable amount of time. I'm still going to die sometimes. That's okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, so that is our load order for Fallout 4 right now. Remember, I'm testing this. It is not fully tested. I have not played that long with it, and we could run into some issues. Right now, everything looks good, though. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. So I want to acknowledge these people who directly support the channel. I really do appreciate that, and I really do appreciate everyone for watching the videos and interacting. This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.
Game over.